Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live or listening to replay. Always appreciate you for tuning in live or listening to replay. We're going to bring a action-packed episode today. This is going to be episode 212, so that means the heat is turned up. If you don't know, water boils at the temperature of 212. So this is the 212 degree episode of stocks and how liquid is your position. So once again, this is episode the vault episode 212 stocks and how liquid is your position. And this is a very important episode. One to actually bring our trading partner on the line, Cornell. Uh, and just a trader in general, someone that has acquired the skill, has talked from a teacher or an advantage position, and so we wanted to bring him forth today to literally talk about why there is a difference between public and private. So many people know there's a difference between public and private, but they say if there's a difference between public and private, what's the difference between a stockholder and a trader? So if you're a stockholder or options, see, there's options traders, but what happens with the holder of the stock? So we could talk about a lot of people utilizing these stock platforms like Acorn. People don't even know how it's going to help them get liquid. They're like, oh, I'm saving money, but I don't know where the money's supposed to go. There's so many people that are doing it. What's the other platform, Cornell? It's not Acorn, it's the other one. Where it kind of takes money off the top. You're muted out, man. Uh, but they pretty much they have a different position where they pretty much like help you save money and invest in the stocks and different things like that. And so we want to talk about today, once again, the position of own nothing. Robinhood. Thank you, Angela. We appreciate Angela motivates on listening live. We definitely appreciate that help. That's always a big help when you know someone's listening live and they can actually like help you on the fly. So we really do appreciate that. But Robinhood, and then as well, we have the other one, and ladies and gentlemen, this shows that there's demand. So someone's already tested out the market. The market is proof of concept already. If you're ever thinking about doing such of these type of platforms, it's so important to be able to go into these type of businesses, whether you are going to utilize them on a platform or actually develop the platform. And there is room to learn. So as you can see, even we remember Kevin O'Leary, the guy that sits in the middle of the chairs on Shark Tank. If you guys are familiar with that show, Kevin created a derivatives program where it allows people, or he was investing in something that allows people pretty much buy fractions of a stock instead of buying a stock. So here's what happens. Let's just say you're working a job, and you're like, hey, I'm trying to buy Amazon stock, but you may not have $1,000 or $2,000 just to put in buy the whole one stock. So now they're trying to do what's like the fractions of a Bitcoin, where you don't buy the full Bitcoin, you can buy fractions of the Bitcoin, you can buy fractions of a stock. And so now you see these websites popping up where people are allowing people to buy these secondhand derivatives, which is literally a farce in the world. A lot of people don't want to say it. It's called a derivative. If you're not aware of that one word alone, your financial future is on shaky ground. Why? Because a derivative is what everybody is using per tangible asset per paper dollar. And so when we talk about a stock, what's the difference between a stock and a dollar bill? If they're both certificates of a promise to know to pay, or a promise of exchange of energy at one point in time in the future. So we're talking about futures contracts now. So that's when people get into these stocks and they're like, oh, what's the futures market? The futures market traditionally looks like the stock market. Cornell, you there, man? All right. He's on the other end, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure he'll mute out and unmute in a second. But nevertheless, when we're talking about the stocks, we're talking about the public side. When we talk about the how liquid your position, we're talking about own nothing, control everything, because that's what we talk about at the vault. We're talking about the position of you understanding that
Um,
liquidity is what all investors are seeking. You good? You over there now?
Closing deals, man.
You closing deals? Okay. It's on a Saturday. So once again, this is not a day for taking off. It's another typical business day of the week for Cornell, the trading partner, coming in on a business deal, unmuting for specific reasons, And so, really appreciate you deciding to get off the business call and, you know, share with others how business can be elevated, can be grown from a trader position, from a liquid position, not from a stock position, a buy and hold position. So, could you even talk about what stocks and how liquid your position? What does that mean to you versus, stock trader versus actual buy and holder?
If you're trading, you're in a good spot right now because cash is king right now. Finna be king here in a second. So from a trader's perspective, stocks, which a lot of y'all don't know, y'all buying and holding, y'all making money one way, price going up, going down. See, we make it both ways and we ain't holding no position. We put a trade in, make a little money, get out, we cash. Our account ain't fluctuating. But what that allows is, like the things you're seeing now, guess what? Cash is king. Now, trading helps you get into them other investments that you probably always wanted to get into because you're prepared for it now. Compared to where if you are doing the stocks, you took a dive when that virus hit. We made money when the virus hit because we make money both ways. So that's the difference between a trade and just holding stocks. Because I hear a lot of people talking about Robinhood. Robinhood is a setup. People say everything that's free ain't good for you. I just learned that in the class I'm taking, the hedge fund class I'm taking, that what y'all don't know is Robinhood, because the reason they don't charge y'all, they charge to send the data over to the hedge funds, which are the people that move the market, and they playing games with you. So the articles you see, why them talking about inexperienced traders and Wall Street playing games, and yeah, they playing games with you right now because it's certain things you don't understand.
What would be some of those certain things? Be more specific.
For instance, you know the market going up, right? You can know the market going up, Christian, and still lose your money because they know how to manipulate the market. That's some of the games they playing. So, for instance, how we got on here a couple months ago, I told everybody to buy them stocks. Some people waited. Guess what? They waited. Now you get in the middle. What they do? As soon as you get in, take the market back down. You in the red. I'm still in the green because I got in 2 months ago because I know how to trade. I knew where the top and the bottom was at. Y'all don't. Y'all going off the fad. So y'all sat here. This is basically what happened, Christian, with everybody online. You online. You on the internet. Facebook, Instagram, whatever y'all. You see everybody start talking about something, then you just go in and go on with them. Oh, I can't go wrong with the stock. Yes, you can. Because that's how smart they are. You know it's going up. Guess what? You might have bought Carnival later on. I bought Carnival when it was around $6, $7. You buy it at 18, Christian. Now it's back down. You in the red. Where I'm at, I'm still in the green. That's because of the knowledge. People don't educate themselves. You gotta get out the fad, or you're gonna be broke like the fad. That's quick money. That's the scam money. They selling y'all up. Robinhood selling
Acorn.
y'all up, and they selling y'all data. And guess what? The people that manipulate the market sees the data, goes in, manipulate the money. They're not gonna let you make the money if you're not educated, and they'll figure out a way to get that money out your hand.
Well, let's talk to the people that are saying, okay, and this is where financial education is critical. This is where you can see you can't win unless you know the finance game. It's just bottom line. You got to learn different financial structures, different financial tools. Each business has its own financial structure and financial tool. The stocks has a financial structure and a financial tool. The stay in liquid position is a financial structure and a financial tool. Why? Because traders are different than stockholders. The traders aren't always holding the position for long terms. They might hold it for short positions for liquid terms. So we want to make sure that there's a distinction between public and private here. This is what you get in private trustee training. You get private education. You get access to the either whether it's the trading with Cornell or trustee training, but it's learning the difference between public and private. Stocks is what people are told in the public to own their whole life. This doesn't need to be financial advice. It's not that. Why? Because we're recommending you do financial research. Financial research is not letting somebody on the internet tell you something and then you not go know how to go research what the dividend yield of the stock is. Most people don't even know what the dividend yield of stock is. When Warren Buffett buys stock, he's buying stock for dividend yields, price to earning ratios. Warren Buffett tells you in the book. He's got one good book out. He tells you the book that he read, which was Ben Graham's book. They buy and hold and live off dividends. And so when we talk about positions, are you holding a position to live off the dividend or are you holding for appreciation? How many people are holding stock positions for appreciation solely? When they walk into a stock, they're saying, okay, I know it's going to go up. So since it's going to go up, we're going to make money. But this is the question we have to you. When do you make money in the stock? When it goes up or when you cash out? Because you're supposed to do what? Buy low, sell high. That's the common conventional wisdom. Buy low, sell high. So you bought the stock low and you sell it high. So that's when you make your money. That's when you get hit with the tax liability, is when you sell high. What position are you selling in? Are you selling from a stock position or a liquid position? Why? Because there's a difference between futures contracts, which are the markets that are being traded every single day, the NASDAQ, all those different things. They have different composites. See, this is the financial information that may not be fully disclosed to the public when you're going through school, but anybody through middle school or high school can apprehend and be okay with acquiring financial information that literally exposes traditional numbers that are going by traditional matrices that any traditional hedge fund, any traditional company that is acquiring other companies is going to know. You are in the business of building assets. There's no difference than replacing that saying you are in the business of building businesses. So being able to look at a company and evaluate that company is not just coming from a stock side. We do that as well on the liquid side. You are looking for liquidity. That means you are looking for assets that you can get in and out of and cash out with minimal liability, with maximum profit. Whereas in a stock is the traditional common colloquial term of uh, buy and hold, sit and hold. It's like when people buy houses, don't they buy and hold and sit on a house? Right, but how many are in a liquid position? The equity is the liquidity. In a property, the equity is the liquidity. But how many people can cash out on the liquidity? And so liquidity sometimes can be given not just in transactions and moving forward, it can be through a still buy and hold position where you see stocks give out dividends. So there's stocks that give out dividends, and they give that's a form of liquidity. It may not be a large amount of liquidity, but it is enough to say, hey, this is where you say you buy and you buy low, sell high. It's an automatic cash out. It's an automatic dividend yield. So you searching products that yield or entities or structures that yield dividends is the profitable position. What is the term called? Cash flow from that position. It's cash flow. Dividends are cash flow. Just like if you have a property and it's yielding an excess amount over the mortgage, it's cash flow. This is what we're dealing with nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. We're dealing with a individual that has to be financially sound, financially astute, someone that's willing to take these chances of doing financial research, putting in the sweat equity hours, to put in the extra study time for their different investments that they may have, for the different business ventures that they may have. This is not a one shot Johnny. So many people think you get rich off of one business. It doesn't happen. You don't get rich off one business. There's not one entrepreneur that people see in the public that's a multi-billionaire that got rich off one business. You have multiple holdings. You have multiple positions. So how liquid is your position currently so you can get into another position rapidly? Because you have liquidity. You have your own solid asset base. How much do stocks provide as far as liquidity? How much? Stocks provide a buy and hold position. And the buy and hold position puts an individual in a position where there's an equitable position that's sitting there now. We're sitting here, we're seeing this equitable position being held. And when are we going to get liquidity out of this position? That is the question that a stockholder traditionally may ask. But remember, stocks are created for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. So let's look into the stock for what it is worth. It's literally a position in a company, and it may not always be favorable, ladies and gentlemen, because so many people don't want to talk about this. This is how you know we are talking about stocks. First of all, when you walk into a company, they have a preferred stock and a common stock. So when people are issuing out stocks, usually the founders get founder stock in the company. That means they put the sweat equity in. They got multiples over the traditional stock that's released to the public. So when we see that, and we see that there's common and preferred stock in the company, why would we be getting issued Class B shares or Class C shares? Huh? Why would we do that? We asking the audience, the people that are listening over the internet, why would we get Class B shares, Class C shares? Huh? Why? Does anybody even know why we would get that? So let's go ahead and share why we would get Class B shares or Class C shares. Because first of all, ladies and gentlemen, you all can go look up Berkshire Hathaway's stock right now. Berkshire Hathaway stock, the traditional stock, is worth over $200,000. Okay? On July 4th, we'll go look at this. Go look at the stock, Berkshire Hathaway, for you all. Berkshire Hathaway stock is $267,551. Okay, this is Class A stock. How many people can go get the big boy $200,000 stock? That's literally saying we're only dealing with accredited investors, and you're only going to get one share for accredited investor status. Okay, so let's now go to Class B stock, ladies and gentlemen, because Class B stock is $178. Oh wow, Trust Christian, thank you all for the vote for coming through and giving me such a diamond in the gym. Why is having Class B stock so valuable? Having Class B stock literally gets you to the Berkshire Hathaway earnings report. It gets you to the earnings report in in Omaha every year. It's a critical event to go to. It's an event that allows you to be in an event. Once again, we talked about him, Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett as an investor, but now we're talking about actually being there right there in front of him, and he's talking about the stocks that you have a share in, that this position is being held. Now you think about that, ladies and gentlemen. How do you have one stock issue for 200,000, the next one's issued for less than $200? Do you understand how people play this game? Do you see how it can be played? How someone can have a preferred and then someone can have a common. And which one are you financially educated on to be aware of? That's the difference, ladies and gentlemen, is being able to invest in your private education so you can be able to tell that, hey, I wasn't taught this in public school. And you will not be. Why? Because public school is controlled by institutions. And these institutions, are they financial institutions? Some people will like to say that they're not. Well, if they're not, that's why financial education may not be taught. It's being taught by rhetoric, historians, PE teachers. So, different teachers. But how many specifically had a financial literacy educational teacher with the financial vocabulary? Ladies and gentlemen, you can literally learn the financial language by reading a Barron's financial dictionary. Barrons, a Barron's financial dictionary. A Barron's financial dictionary is literally a financial dictionary that is not a traditional dictionary. It is literally what's considered commercial terms. So when we see a dictionary that's literally created for commercial terms, which you can talk to some lawyers, you can talk to accountants, and they will have a Barron's on their shelf. Why? Because they're dealing with commercial terms. And so this is where we are, ladies and gentlemen, where information may not, people would say, like to be hidden, but it's definitely something that causes for an individual to have to do further research, to do further delving into. Someone that is going to say, hey, When you email over, you watch the videos first. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't need to rush with the vault. You can watch all of the videos before you contact the vault. Go through the videos and go through what titles pertain to LLCs, what pertains to C Corps, what pertains to different lawyers. We've actually done episodes on the 28 things to do in business litigation as a business tool. Where's that being taught in public school? That litigation is a business tool, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a game, or is it chess, not checkers? Business is a game, and business litigation is a business tool. But how many people are afraid to call the lawyers and reach out and say, hey, I need a lawyer just someone I can consult. When we have these contracts, we're going to pass them along to you and, want to know if you can read over them. How much is your fee? It might cost you lunch. That could be $80 for them to look over a contract. I don't know contract. Right. Have a lawyer look over contract for $80 over lunch. Stocks. And how liquid is your position? That's what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it from, the trader Cornell. It's so funny we had to get him to say that Robinhood was, what it wasn't. Everybody has their opinion. We're entitled to our opinion. It's not financial advice. It's called financial research. We do our financial research. We invest in to what the mentors say is financial research.
That's research. So that means it ain't no opinion. That's what's going on. If you go do your research, you will find out that they sell that data to the hedge fund. See, that's the type of research I do. If you say you're concerned about your money, you gotta see what money flowing. Like I said, you gotta see how people moving. Research. If you're gonna protect your family, you gotta learn how to move how they move. You got to move like they move.
And that's why we wanted to have you on here, Cornell, is to really talk about the position. But we really want to know what when you how real is the learning and how up to speed can they get right now in 2020 with what the times going on? How fast can they get up to speed? How fast can people see profits? We don't want to say get rich quick, but we want to say with hard work and dedication. You know, just based off of past time frames, but the volatility in the market right now. Could you talk about that?
Right now, it's an excellent time to be doing it because you actually got the time to actually do it. And you just see we've been around a few people that actually had the time, that one that had the time, that took the proper steps, putting themselves in play right now. Because whether they want to talk to you about it or not yet, unemployment gonna have to be discussed sooner or later, Chris. It's at 50% for the whole entire United States. Man, they said 50%. 50%. That's high. And this is what's going on. They got y'all getting comfortable by giving you stimulus checks and everything else. Now you're not even paying attention to what's going on. Yeah. And they actually showing people like this been going on so long, like it may not be directly affecting some people now, but some people already losing things. They showing how people going through their reserves. And that's something you gotta learn by research. Y'all got money sitting in accounts that ain't growing, ain't getting no interest, anything like we move a particular way. We understand not to sit 50,000 over here and not have it growing because cost of living, all that's gonna eat that up while it's sitting there. Y'all don't understand that. And then stuff like this happen, you got to go use that money. You might have had that money sitting there for 3 years and ain't touching Christmas, but guess what? That could have been 3 years of compound interest in some of the accounts that we use. Now your money then increased and grow. it's the possibility. Guess what? You can still have that money, but see now you gotta do this. Guess what? Your job going away because people figuring out we can do this from the house. We ain't bringing a lot of y'all back to the bill, and
Wonder
that's
if it's a
going on.
glossed wonder if it's a glossed over feeling right now in the public of, still so much disintermediation where there's so many people that are fragmented as far as thought, and you don't really see a lot of teams coming together. But we definitely want to do an episode of partnerships because the elite always partner together in times of whatever type of times. They're wealthy people, people that are means, they're going to partner together. Whereas people that are fragmented are people in the lower classes that are not working together, not strategically partnering, acquiring group properties, and doing group investments. We've seen some of the little Susu ideas come through, but we also see that there are opportunities where people can still come together and cultivate capital together, and that's a really big deal. Is people cultivating capital. What do you think about aggregating capital together right now in the marketplace, Cornell, to accomplish investments, whether it is stocks or trading, where your direction and where you're headed with it as far as aggregating and growing capital?
Nah, I ain't got the mute on. It's like you chopped up a little bit when you were talking.
Cornell, you there?
Yeah, what you said?
I say yeah. So what would you say about aggregating capital in groups or with other people right now?
What, putting your money with other people?
Well, just going for hedge fund status type stuff. Now more being more prepared to aggregate capital to go in and do hedge funds with buying out properties, subdivisions, creating towns and cities, things of that nature.
That just go with research and elevate. Hedge fund, like I said, it's different conversation, take a different type of person. But that's what they doing. They sitting back, they taking the real data, they taking the economy for what it actually is. They are the market makers. So the decisions they make, they know 12 months in advance like what's going on. They in position right now. That's why you hear about the billionaires making so much money right now. They using those type of entities that know what they doing, that researching and staying ahead of what's going on and not sitting here waiting on what they see on TV. Like I told you, like them reports and all that stuff that come out, that's old news. By the time y'all see it, that's old news. They already saw it.
Okay, now here's the crimp in the hourglass. How is it that they can get that private knowledge or that knowledge before it comes out to the public? Because it doesn't sound like it's public, but how is it do they get that one step ahead of literally, and this is crazy, I would love to hear your answer to this too, is how do they get that one step ahead of the public propaganda that's literally on the internet and on the news? How do you get ahead of the propaganda in the media?
Historical data. Like they using the data they already got, and then they know. Like I said, they did so much research. They know certain regulations, rules, and they know how the government move. Like the government doesn't. If for anybody that don't know, the government don't move the market. They manipulate the market to get certain ideas across, but those institutions and them hedge funds, them guys move the market. So guess what? When they plug their data and they make their move, guess what? All of them pretty much making that same move, market move. They getting ahead of it. It's only so they have got so much now that they understand the government can only do so much. They're gonna do so much, then guess what? They got to get out the way. So if they want something to happen a certain way, they'll go on there. It's kind of like they talking to the institution. We're gonna go drop GDP. Guess what? When the hedge funds see that, they make the market move a certain way. The government letting them know, I need you to move this way. And that's what they're doing. And they building their money up.
So how does what's considered to be the average person, they're going from zero to hero, and you have to be willing to face this fact. It's a great place to start from zero because it shows how much guts you literally took to build that much energy and dollars over a period of time. So let's talk about it. Zero to hero. Is it real? Ladies and gentlemen, the Vault's living real proof. Cornell's living real proof. Chris Gardner from The Pursuit of Happiness is living proof for African Indigenous descent men who want to see someone or women who want to see. You all can just continue to research first African American on stock market floor. She was youngest one. She was actually like 21 years old or 18 years old on the stock market floor. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have opportunities to be infiltrated, as they would say. We can infiltrate the marketplace, and the way that you do that is by acquiring these skills of trading. And so let's talk about that, Cornell. How real is it from zero to hero? How do you go from zero to hero? We need this to be real. Just like they make real estate real, make trading real for us, because stocks has been lied to us. We've been lied to. We think stocks is Warren Buffett status, and we're like, well, damn, we don't have $100,000 to go in. Especially if you were birthed into a family, you didn't have $100,000. You didn't even get $50,000 as a farewell at 18, leaving your house. What money did you get to invest in the marketplace at 18? For some people. We're given a range from zero to hero. That means you didn't have anything at 18. Cornell, we didn't have anything at 18. We both can speak from that position. So let's talk now, Cornell. From zero to hero, how do you go from zero to millionaire to billionaire with the trading? How do you do it?
Got to build a system. You got to stick to the system. You got to grow your system. You got to put your assets in the right place, and they grow. Like, you can't think rich, get rich quick all the time. That's the problem. That's the main problem. Everybody want to get rich quick instead of building the systems. So guess what? Warren Buffett is sit here on that cash like he telling you. You want to know why, Chris? Because he's not in a rush. He's building the system. Let me see what's going on. Because he know cash is going to be king right now. He know that. He know that for a fact. Cash king right now. All right, Christian. Cash king. What can I do? Let me sit back, get educated. This is what I'm talking about, how they manipulate the stock. You know all the stocks going back up, but when are they going back up? This is something you learn from research and getting in the right environments. You'll learn that the market takes breaks, then continue to process. Take a break, continue to process. That's something that we know. So, because we know that, we get in the right position, and we just ride it up to the right position. Because we not in to make quick money. We're gonna go back to the top to when the dividends and everything else get paid. I just caught a fire sale deal at a low price. I wasn't looking to cash out fast like y'all looking. Like, it ain't good to even stay liquid cash fast. So you let it go up. Now we collect the dividends. So for instance, I'm gonna tell y'all the power in dividends, because a lot of y'all probably hear us saying dividend. Like, what are they talking about dividend? This is what's going on. A person like Warren Buffett may have $100 million, right? He got 100,000 shares in a company. He doesn't have to sell his shares, Christian, because that company, like Coca-Cola or whoever he invested in, says, we're gonna pay out a dividend every 3 months, Christian. That means we might pay you $2 per share every month. I mean, every 3 months, quarterly dividend. Look how much money he making. He got 100,000 shares times two. He just made $200,000, and he still owned these shares. So everybody in Robinhood is just getting in, like you said, they buying low, selling high. But you see, we got long-term strategies. That's why we trade. I can go in and trade every day and make money. But the stocks ain't set up to do that. They set up to set you up years down the road. And a lot of y'all ain't following that system. So if you get in the Robinhood just for the buy low, sell high, yeah, you're gonna make some cash. But what you gonna do with the cash when you get it? Most people run through cash as soon as they get it. Now you back to square one. Even though you made the money, you just spent the money. So you got to grow your money. You got to get Set your system up, get educated, grow your money. And especially important right now. You better grow your money right now. Very important right now.
I think a lot of people will give this excuse no matter what level they're at. Everybody wants to say they don't have the money, and that we like that position actually. I think that's probably one of the best excuses to give because now it forces you to be creative and called creative financing. So one of the things that we see so many people overskip, and these are the prerequisites for trusteeship. These are the prerequisites for trading. And talking to Cornell earlier today, he even said it. He said, "Man, trading is not for everybody. It's set for a certain type of person." But here's what that person entails for sure. You say, "What are the traits of a trader, a successful trader? What are the traits of a successful trustee?" It's called a person that takes personal responsibility. And once you take that personal responsibility for your finances and for your life, you'll see that you're willing to bank on yourself. One thing we see from all great traders is they all say you got to be willing to live and die by the decisions you make, especially financially. And so many people feel that, oh, they're underwater or wherever they're at, but that's neither here nor there. The greats have been underwater, the greats have filed bankruptcy. And then all of a sudden, everybody that's not financially astute think bankruptcy is still bad, even though they hear it and they don't go do the research or whatever. And so we share with you the financial literacy, the financial education that says, hey, you know, you got to do your research first. That's where it might not be, it might not be a situation where, you have access to more funds, but you do have access to information. Everybody wants to so-called get the free information, but as you can see, the free information is literally not overly valuable because it's free. And so investing in certain environments are just all they're going to do is just be able to solidify your deal. Diversifying your education set is going to be critical in these times. And when we talk about education right now, we're talking about financial education. Specifically, maybe you may not, maybe you do hold stocks, you want to hold stocks, so you go and actually read the Warren Buffett style of information, specifically things that he actually put out. Or just knowing his strategy. There's a few books out there that I'm sure that'll give you directly that. Just like we have books in the private that go over trusteeship, how to be a proper trustee and move forward in that capacity. So, uh, once again, this was an episode to highlight public and private. Whether it was stocks, whether it was, people say, what's the difference between all these different derivatives? We gave you the beginning word. It's called a derivative. And the more you know about these derivatives, the more you can be successful. Because so many people even come to us with securities and they don't know that securities are derivatives. Securities are derivatives. So in turn, they have a securities exchange, they have securities license agents, they help you get the actual derivative classified as a specific style of security. See, this is what we know at the vault. So we don't need to sell people the chicken scratch that's being sold over the internet about, oh, if you get your birth certificate, you're going to be scotch free. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no such thing as a free lunch. You know, if it is that comes from prayer. It's not from another man. So we just want to highlight the fact that business is business and personal is personal. And so in this particular case, are the stocks in the business position or in the personal position? Did you buy them in your name or did your company buy them? Yes, your company can invest in other companies. Yes. Doesn't every other company do that when they're acquiring a portion of the company called a stock? Yes, it's a derivative of the company. And people and companies can buy other companies. You know that. So we definitely wanted to share that with you all. I appreciate you all for tuning in live, listening to replay. Definitely been a great episode. Feel free to reach out Christian at trustchristian.com. If you all have any questions, feel free to type them into the chat. We'll try to address them as soon as possible. But I appreciate you all and the feedback Angela motivates. Appreciate you. Where's everybody listening from today? We got a bunch of people listening. Where are you all listening from? Feel free to type it into the chat. Man, you doing more deals on a Saturday than somebody's doing on a Monday. Angela says her question is, how does she get out of Robinhood? And these are the questions that we always challenge people with, because a lot of times people get into these situations where it's like, man, I don't even know how to get the money off the platform. I tied my bank account to it, and now it's saving this money for me, and I don't even know how to get the money down. And then think about it. Do these platforms have physical presences where you can go in and kind of shake somebody up if they try to shake your bank account down? Ladies and gentlemen, you all are familiar with hacking? You all are familiar with bank accounts getting hacked? Oh no, phantom accounts. These aren't phantom accounts now? Oh no, we have to. Well, how do you have the questionnaire accountability when they're international organizations? So security is prevalent. It's going to be very important right now. Listening from Texas. Appreciate Texas for tuning in. Trustees are coming out of Texas like crazy right now. Texas has always been a hotbed for trustees because it's one of those free, good old American states. You know, they definitely are always looking to honor the Constitution in their state, and that's something that you have to be very admirable and excited and happy about. Uh, because that's really important. You know that we're really happy to see that there are certain. Texas has been a hot. These once again, if you're in real estate right now, Texas is booming. Why? Because people are leaving California. People are leaving Chicago. People are leaving Minneapolis. People are leaving these places. They're leaving New York and they're going to Texas. They like the laws in Texas. They like the housing prices in Texas. They like the income taxes laws in Texas, ladies and gentlemen. The property is significantly cheaper in Texas than it is in California for the space.
You go on the next page, it's show
You there, Cornell?
the well number 434.
Cornell, you live with us. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm over here. Keep on talking. Time to close.
This guy says he's trying to close. This is what happens on a Saturday. So, but once again, and Cornell's dealing with the Georgia state. Well, don't want to expose the region, but we have to share the reasons that are booming right now, so you all can be aware of what's going on in the marketplace, and not just sit on your thumbs and say, "Oh man, the marketplace is dried up. The market's dry." The market's definitely not dry right now. It's not a
Man, that's
drought right
dry
now.
right now.
What you
You see,
say?
I'm on the phone on real estate now. It ain't dry. Like this the perfect time. Like if you want to get your family out the hole, I would not be worried about going out. I'd be worried about getting some things in play because this is the wealth chain. They it's like a reset. They do this every probably 15, 20.
10 years.
It's a
10.
reset.
Yep.
And this is what happened. This is what we mean by reset. You see how them billionaires making all that money? People go from rich to wealthy, and the ones that were doing okay, you might wind up in that rich category. Like for me, instant, like with the real estate, I'm trying to make a couple $1 million off this real estate. That can be done by any individual right now that's smart, that that's doing research and taking the time and learning things like this. Now you got your family set up. Because see, this is what y'all don't look at. Most people are programmed to go to work. 4 year college mess you up. You programmed to go work for somebody. It's as simple as this. You can go buy. You know what's going to happen? A lot of people finna lose their houses and stuff. What the market goes back to? Renting again. Now you finna get deals where you might get some 10 cents on the dollar. Now you can go create what you was making at work when you was going to work for somebody. Now you sitting at your house making income. Not only that, you can add to it. Now we around people, they say they think about family. So now, guess what? You know, get your kid a building, get started making money. Like it's opportunity right now. It's gonna be a huge opportunity because the reason you see people failing right now, they didn't have a plan. They didn't have a system. They was living check to check when y'all thought they was doing really good, and it caught up with them. They weren't expecting to be down this long. Like a month, yeah, Christian, we okay. Oh man, 2 months, we pushing it. Now it's going into 3 months, people losing. And on top of that, they just can't keep deferring. Businesses can't keep deferring your debt. So guess what y'all think gonna happen? Them deadlines are getting pushed out. They'll be like, nah, we need our money, Christian. I can't push it out another 3 months, man. So right now, the market is hot. Even with trade, people making probably 20 times what they would have made trade right now. It's opportunity, but people so worried about getting out the house right now and just enjoying themselves. You're not seeing the havocs being caused in the position they're gonna put you in. You finna be either poor or rich. That's it. They already said 40% of them jobs ain't coming back. And as y'all see, some even y'all bigger company that was already struggling a little bit, they had to shut down the doors. This perfect opportunity to create. Perfect opportunity to create something
From scratch, man. From
from
scratch.
scratch.
And stocks is more of a you had cash and you're able to buy low. That means you were in
And
a
here's the
position.
crazy thing about it. I'm a trader. And Chris will tell you this. I haven't bought stocks in like 15 years. 15 years. But because of what happened with the virus and everything else, I'm able to buy into companies that I would never be able to buy at this level again, probably for the to the next reset. Yeah, and I invest in companies, like I said, I do research. I pay attention to people that make money. I'm not too big on myself to listen to somebody that's in a better position than me, that's giving me, and that's what we got to get out of. We don't like to listen to people. So I listen to those Christians that already a millionaire, multi-millionaire when they tell me something. Because they don't share a lot.
Well, then there's a lot of people in the public that are faking the funk. So you don't know who's the real millionaire from the one that's on TV in the reality TV show that they're telling you they're millionaire, but then they're also crying on TV about being in debt as well. So you see a credit debt driven society as opposed to a pure cash or pure liquid position, where they actually have that cash available in their hands, $1 million, saying that they're a millionaire. We know people in those positions, you know what I mean, that are, liquid with $1 million plus in their bank account, or have bank accounts that have liquid. They can get that cashed out of a position, within a 24-hour period. And so it's just a different association when you do know those people, when you can have those conversations. But it still came from financial research. It comes from a little bit of surfing over the internet. It's not much over the internet. We know that there's an abundance of information over the internet, but there's still an abundance of information that you can decipher through, particularly in the states where there's so many opportunities from creatives as opposed to other markets where they have a lot of. United States gives a lot of people creativity to create, whereas other countries might not always. So when you see human rights or female rights, United States is a big promoter of that. In turn, they've had a lot of feminine ideas come into the marketplace that have revolutionized the marketplace. And so you see a lot of creativity coming not just from men that are working, but also women. So that's a big thing when you have men and women in your workforce creating, as opposed to where you just have the men predominantly creating in a society. And there are quite a few societies around the world where men are in that position. And so you can see how creativity is. Some people will argue that it's being stifled because there's no acceptance of women, but or partial acceptance. But at the end of the day, the United States has an abundance of ideas that people can invest in. And so people, when they're looking to invest in other people, Cornell, what would you say is your criteria for investing in other people at this point?
I look at people that's been proven. Like I don't go with fat. Like we talked about that. Like even with some, and to go back to who's somebody Robin Hood. Don't get me wrong. You can use Robin Hood. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is don't get online just because people saying buying stocks. Everybody want to be an expert now. Everybody want to be an expert right now. So people just buying because you automatically think it's gonna go up. It don't work that way. So it's a mindset. Guess what? Christian gonna panic if he uneducated. If I got him, tricked him to get in at $17 and he down at $8, he got a decision to make. Christian, you got a decision to make. Am I gonna go ahead and lose all my money? Or am I really gonna believe in what I thought I was doing the first time? And guess what a lot of people gonna do? They're gonna go ahead and cut their loss and take the rest of their money. But guess what they just did? They just added money to their portfolio. Now, where you just got out at, they go back in, buy it, and go back and make the money the other way also. That's education. The only thing I'm saying is you using Robinhood, just don't be on it just picking stocks because it sound good. Instead, I'm finna come up because eventually everything gonna come up. You don't know who gonna survive. So like I said, even like when I do mine, I still go to a reliable company. I know that's not going anywhere. MGM, they ain't going anywhere. Airlines, they not going anywhere. Hotels, Christian, they not going anywhere. Those major brands are not going anywhere. The most they might do is that close locations, and guess what? When they pick back up, what they gonna do? Open locations back up.
Where do you
Uh,
recommend a newbie begins in this journey?
Research, getting in the proper class and around the right people.
Well, you're speaking very abstract, and I know a lot of people listening. They're like, "All right, man, you speak in abstract. Give us a specific source."
To me, give you a specific source. I can't give you a specific source because I don't know what people are trying to do. You have to. I put it like this: anything I do or want to do, I go do the research on it before I even get in it. So, for instance, you hear me talking about real estate. I have done your research on real estate to where I'm not catching a fad. I can actually break down a deal. I actually know how to put a team together. That stuff I did before I even put my hands in it. So that's the same thing when you say you want to trade options or you over there in a group with somebody that's making you feel good, give you a little quick education and giving you signals. That ain't that ain't investment in yourself. What you gonna do? Like we had a gentleman, he wasn't with me, but he with another group. Guess what? He made a couple thousand, Christian, quick. Then that was that one day Friday. It took that big hit. He lost it all in one day. The money he had just created over the last 2 weeks, boom, gone. One day that comes from not being educated and following fast. So you got to research whatever you're trying to do, whether it's buying stocks, trading forex,
Could you tell him?
options.
Could you tell him your story about how it took you 8 months before you put in your first trade? So many people, they
Come
rush
from
that
that's
process.
research. That's it. Cause here's the thing: these people let you practice. I'm gonna give y'all a little word about it. If you're getting into trade, whether it's with me or anybody else, they give you demo accounts, free accounts to practice with. So if you following me, you getting good information because everybody that I teach, guess what I'm gonna tell you? Don't start until you win it in the fake account. You wanna know why the other people can't tell you that, Christian? Because they in network marketing. They got a monthly fee. It's not any fees involved in trading. Besides, you might have to pay a platform. You shouldn't be paying another individual every month. Now they're trying to rush your learning curve. You heard what he said? It took me 8 months to learn how to trade. But who's committed to, I put it like this, you learn how to trade, and if y'all been following for a while, you heard me say this. Chris even said it all the time. You learn how to trade, you ain't gotta worry about the money no more. That's a true statement. Bottom line.
That's some
You
Michael
never have to
Jordan
worry
stuff right
about
there.
money. You never have to worry about money again the rest of your life because this is a repetition system that's being manipulated. If you learn the skill, you will never have to worry about the money issue. Period. That's proven.
Cornell, could you talk about how you grown an account from like $20?
I just play with them. Like
I'm
that.
talking about a real live account though, not like people say even though it was that demo, it's like nah. I mean, he had $20 to lose
When
for
you
sure.
get the information the correct way, you can do that. You can start with small sums. Like I said, y'all probably heard me tell you about my aunt. Although my aunt started with $400 and wound up making 6 figures. Pay the student loans off. You got to follow good people. I tell Christian all the time, whatever I do, my aunt do. I showed my aunt. My aunt saw what worked. You got to move with people like that. We got to get the people from around you. So like Y'all might be listening to us. Then you try to go talk to your friend about it. First thing your friend gonna do is knock it. Why would you listen to somebody that ain't even set up? Why would you listen to somebody that don't even trade? Why would you listen to somebody that ain't even got trust? They just killed your dream because you look up to them a little bit, whether you know it or not. If you listen to them, like, oh well, Christian, my partner, he make $200,000 whatever this
And
is.
I think that's what it is, Cornel. It's like
That's
some
what it
people
is.
can't. They don't have a good real barometer. People got good bullshit barometers, but they don't
Yeah.
have a real barometer. They don't know real people from the fake people. It's like, oh, I hear somebody. It's like, dude, ain't no remarks on the internet bad about what we doing over here. There's no need to have bad remarks. Why? Because people get what they pay for. That's the bottom line. See, we don't need to do. When you say somebody's a trader, he told you how a trader lives. It's not. I need you to get your money. We don't need to sit over here and give you the email 8 million times. People say, oh, what about the website, Trust Christian? We need to click on the website. The YouTube platform is the platform to listen to the episodes. Contact the vault. Bottom line, period. The website makes no difference here nor there. You listen to the episode, you get the email, you listen to the other episodes, you move forward. It's a consultation. Otherwise, it was just some more bullshit information like people encounter every day. Otherwise, it's real information and people encounter it and people say, okay, wow, I appreciate the sincerity of the 1% that I've never heard, the other end that I never heard. People literally come in contact with a diamond. They'll pick it up, blow it off, see that it's actually a diamond and throw it back to the ground. And they'll say, what use do I have for this
You
diamond
know
right
the
now?
the problem is? Everybody want to skip the education part of it, and that's what you learn if you in one of my classes. And see, here's the thing with me. Y'all hear me keep hollering about. I'm headed the hedge fund route. I'm learning. I'm so deep into what I'm doing. I'm learning the other side of the business. I might not. And this is what I talk about, even with the stocks. You're around the wrong people, so you hesitate. We don't live off teaching class. So like if y'all follow me, I see I'm teaching the kids for free. The class, the webinar, stuff like that. Y'all know what I actually do with the money when I teach class? I invest in the kids. I have a foundation. I sponsor a lot of things that I ain't just got to get online and put on a show for people. I do a lot back home that people don't know about. It ain't about the recognition. The classes, y'all understand? You keep on waiting toward the end of the year, Cornell might not even be teaching classes no more. I might be solely over here dealing with the kids because that's what I wanted to do. But think about that. I know how to trade. I don't need a monthly fee from a person. I don't need you to pay. See, Chris, I don't need you know this. I don't need you to pay me $500. What I'm trying to get you to see is I want you to be the same way with your family. You don't need me. You don't need your job. You don't need no individual. Think about the freedom you have. You know what I get out of trading? It ain't the money.
It's the freedom, man. It's the lifestyle.
You see, I have my kids with me all the time.
Right.
And whether y'all know it or not, that has a direct effect on your kids. You at work all the time. You're not putting the time in with your kids. They're gonna pick up other habits. But guess what? If your kids around you all the time, they see how you move. It ain't hard for them to even adapt, Christian, to what you're doing.
Right. If you're moving right, they'll see it. Yeah,
You
they'll
don't
see
see
the move. They're gonna see the people. They're gonna see the business friends. They're gonna see it, and that's why it's just interesting to see how people don't see it. And even in your friends, do you see it in your friends? It's such an interesting environment. But we definitely want to comment from the perspective of, well, what are the business periodicals that we read? That's a big long list. One of the ones we'll sneak in here for you. Can I share the one you've been getting stolen from you recently?
go ahead.
All right, now we're gonna go ahead and share with everybody, ladies and gentlemen, because this is where you live. Where you live is the Rob Report. For it's not even just a men's magazine, ROBB Report. It's pretty much you're gonna have
I said it's a motivational
magazine.
magazine
Yeah,
because you get to keep up to date with what's really like. If you into that, which a lot of people are into that, you'll know what's the elite of elite. I'll put it to you like that. You'll know that nobody cares about an iced out Rolex over here in this private environment. They going to get that timepiece that's gonna hold value, Christian. They're gonna go with that timepiece where they might spend what you spent for an iced out rolling that you just messed up by changing it. It's like art. You learn about things like that. Your money going to, guess what? If I gotta consolidate at the crib, Christian, guess what? I got a piece of art. I got a masterpiece over here. I paid 100,000, but now years down the road, it's worth $4 million. That's what they show you in that book. They show you the elite. Now, guess what? When you get there, you gonna move like that. Just what? Trust system. You see how the trust works, you gonna move just like that. Guess what? Now you can move with the people that's moving like you. Now it leads to other opportunities. That's how the private environment works. They only deal with the people that's moving like them. So we be talking about stuff that's over people's head. This ain't general conversation with your friend. So if you let them influence you not to do it, you around the wrong people in the first place. They should be right there with you, committed to do it with you.
Right. Because this is something, and that's why I talked about aggregating capital, community aggregation of capital, working together with other people, creating funds. A lot of people do want to create funds. A lot of people want to create local real estate investment trusts and local real estate investment funds with their friends.
Another thing, which it's a true statement. You'll know who your true friends is if you got a friend that's only worried about themselves and they're the only ones that's progressing, and the people around them ain't progressing. That ain't your friend. Cause you see what we said? We move together. We move in the same environment. Everybody got to eat.
So that's the classic line.
Everybody's gonna eat, not just one person. Then y'all look up to those people. Have you ever thought like, dang, have my partner ever came? Damn, Christian, he a millionaire, but has he ever reached out to me on anything? No, that ain't your partner. Your partner want to see you still down. So guess what? I don't want nobody around me looking up to me. I want you to be at the same level as me. And that's how we move. And that's what you learn in a private environment. You learn about real charity in a private environment. You learn not the BS like y'all see. Y'all think non-profit, don't people making money.
Facts.
But but they also doing charity work, but they going to get their money. And that's how the systems work. You know, we get on HBCUs all the time. I love just having a general conversation with somebody that's just think they know the history of HBCU. Then you kind of find out like this rich white family over here is putting the money in the back in the endowment. Or yeah, your school named after some white guy. Like you got to move. You got to learn something. Just because like I said, y'all probably go back, like I said, act because you already know how they do. You gonna ask somebody about trade. Guess what? Cornell ain't got no flaws on his trade record. Christian, you got some flaws on your trust record?
No.
No, we ain't got no flaws. And we move with people that move with us. That's why I don't call nobody about it. When y'all see me do classes, the crazy thing about it, I get so many emails. That's when I do a class and I just put an ad up just to include the other people that may want to take it that hadn't contacted. But in reality, I already had enough people to do a class contact me privately. So that's why I said we don't live off classes. We ain't living off trustee training. But we're gonna give you the benefit to come in and learn the system so you can move like us. Now we can put you in play. Guess what? It might be the opportunity for guess what? Us to make some money later on down the road. That's how people move in the private environment. If
Well,
your team
people.
ain't moving like that, y'all ain't moving right, y'all gonna stay down, you're gonna get caught up in what's going on, and then you're gonna be looking, trying to find the answers.
I think it just comes from people. not taking that leap of faith and investing
That's
in
it.
their private education. How are you apprehensive on investing in your private education? That's the question you should ask yourself. So you're willing to hold back a dollar, whether it's risque or not, towards your private education, but then when it comes to the public education, you want one for free, or you think that it should be free, or
And
people think education should be free.
let's go back to the point. Who's to say we're gonna do this from now on? So this is something I'm gonna give y'all a word of advice. You hear me talking about the hedge fund class? A lot of people don't teach that side. So Cornell knows the benefit that will bring him knowing that information. I don't wait 6 months later to make that decision. It's not a cheap class, but I'm not worried about that aspect. I'm worried about on the back end making millions of dollars with no problem and actually knowing the whole money system. I'm actually learning what the people that move the market is doing. So why am I gonna sit here, Christian, and wait 6 months and contemplate about a price on the class when I know the benefit of millions on the back end?
And that's just opportunity cost loss. So many people don't count opportunity cost because there's so many people that haven't been taught that in the public. They're more focused on, oh, I lost this literally in my hands. Like, no, you lost time, you lost money, you can't get any of that back, man. Like it's just a dynamic thought that has been lost sometimes in the public with people and things like that. So we appreciate you all for tuning in live or listening to replay. We have a bunch of people listening live. We got some people listening from Texas. Where, if you all want to type into the chat where you're listening from, that'd be great. But we definitely appreciate you all for sharing, and appreciate Cornell coming in and talking about the stocks versus trade. Is there anything else that you want to share about these positions, Cornell? Because so many people, once again, they still feel like they may feel like, hey, or think that, hey, what is the next step? What can really, you
Next
know,
step is taking care of your family. When Cornell make a decision, it ain't about the money. It's about taking care of your family, enjoying your family, and building generational wealth. And we take that serious. It ain't about the money. Trade ain't about the money to me.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part too, is you said that from the beginning, and then it was a point was like, okay, hold on. I was doing this wrong like 30 days, and I'm like, okay, I got this now. Like, this is easy. Let me go back to the basics. It's not about the money. Why? Because we're abundant. We can
Because we're
start.
dead.
Yeah,
Guess what I say? I done told you the statement. Once you learn it,
right. You can
you
get
don't have to
whatever you want.
worry about it anymore. You sitting there, y'all see how I'm still working here. I got on here. Guess what? I'm still working. I'm trying to close a real estate deal because we around them type of people. We know they don't take days off. They got money and they'll take days off.
No,
And I
no,
want
no.
y'all to hear what I'm saying right now. A lot of people are sitting around right now waiting. And while I'm on here, let me address this because I almost posted it on my Facebook today. Stop applying for that money from the government and line on the application. I have a government type business. They're gonna come back and get their money and they're gonna lock you up. So don't say you got 50 employees and you don't. People are already getting locked up behind this right now. Leave that money alone. Go out and create you something that you always want to do. Well, it ain't got to be trade. This is the time to go out and create that business that you wanted to create. You have the time. They keep giving you all these extensions. Christian, you got the time to do what we saying the whole hour. Research.
Right, I was going to say is research, but they don't know where to start, man. It's like, oh man, it's where it's like, where do you start? I mean, the starting line is just pulling the effing trigger. You just gotta pull a trigger. You
You gotta
gotta
pull the trigger.
you gotta
You
pull a
research,
trigger.
basically research what you if you trying to be the best, you're gonna go research what you're doing to be the best. You're gonna know exactly what you're doing. If you're gonna cut hair, guess what? You're gonna just go look at cut hair, you're gonna go look at the history of how this was done. You're gonna research, you're gonna try to stand out. You gotta do something to stand out. That's how you get started. If real estate is your thing, guess what? We ain't just going to look at flipping a deal.
We
We need to know.
invest.
We need to know the system.
Right, right. And,
You got the time to research right now and learn it the proper way.
right, very true. So it's like so many people say, "Oh, I got $5,000. I got $10,000." It's like, look, you're
Yeah,
still in the
about how much money you got. That still ain't gonna get you to what I'm talking about. You might get lucky on that investment, but because you following somebody else, everybody ain't gonna give you good investment. Are you prepared for a bad investment? No,
when
you not.
well, I'm talking about putting that into the education, the
Yeah.
educational platforms, taking the 5,000 or 10,000, putting that in the educational platform. People can say, "Oh, wow, I got the 5,000, the 10,000, the 15,000, the 20,000 to put into an educational platform right
Hey,
now."
don't add a 5,000 when you make that statement, and you won't put it in education, and you want to put it in. You say you got 5,000 to go make some money right now. It don't work like that all the time.
Right.
Sometimes you got to pay
For
for
the
the education.
education.
You
Right.
know what I just said? I'm paying for the education, knowing what the end game is on the back end if I make it through this. Meaning, Christian, guess what? I'm not making no money off of it right now. I got
Right.
to research it.
Right.
I got to take the classes. I got to get the mentoring. But guess what? Whenever I get that money, remember what I said? We talking about millions of dollars. If I can't wait, you know what I'm saying? Chris, if you can't wait for $5 to $10 million worth of income rest of your life doing the research and putting in the work, you don't deserve it. Then you'll see why you at the places you at. If you're not working, you don't deserve to get that end goal. You're not gonna get it.
That's the difference between a stockholder and a trader. And that's why trading is so fun because it caters to your research ability. For all you all that love the game of research, finance is going to be awesome for you because that's what it is. You're deciphering from the same information that Warren Buffett is, from the same other investors. It's just once again, the United States has a good open market for information. There are other markets that don't have the markets that's open for information, but you still have information available to you to make quality financial decisions. And that's why financial research will allow you to make those financial decisions. So you say, where do you start? It's in your research to figure out where do you pull the trigger? Where do you pull? Maybe you look at 5 to 10 different opportunities. We even got our mentor in real estate. Jamal said he looked at 77 properties before he bought one. How many of you are willing to go look at 77 properties, taking time out of your life, gas, being quote unquote borderline embarrassed by having a contractor show up with you and you didn't get a deal done, or having your property manager come with you to assess the property to see if they can sell this property and rent it out and manage it for you, so you get them to come through because they have experience in contracting. What happens when you have to get a contract like that? Do you have the guts to do that? It's simple. And those people are waiting for you right now. The ones that you need to help you in your business, they're waiting for you. They need someone else to be the other pillar in the business. Business is a team sport, ladies and gentlemen. Trust is a team sport. Trading is a team sport. You got to have a mentor. So why not have that contractor walk through the property with you? Why not have the property manager walk through with you? They're about to help you rent out the property. Oh no, I didn't think of that. Right. There's so much creativity available to you if you use it. And the education is like, wow, well, how much education do you put in? Maybe you put in 3 to 4 hours every morning now. Now you have the pure opportunity to literally learn something in the morning and get to work before the day starts. 12, 1, 2. Now you can get to work. 1 to 3. You get when they say the 4 hour work week, you'll at least do a 4 hour work day. And that's not going to work. But, you can at least put in good physical hours, but study time. To even hear Cornell say that, it's always been mind blowing. Oh, I was putting in 3 to 5 hours. I only slept 2 hours a night. And to hear the level of competition we have with looking to literally say, how much sleep are you not getting right now? That's what we're competing on. Oh, you sleeping right now, aren't you? No, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Of course I'm not asleep. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh, okay. Man, it's 11 o'clock at night. What you doing? You sleeping? You about to take a nap? Nah, man, I'm up. I'm up. You're up. You're putting in 17, 22-hour days. Why? Because you want it right now. The ones that aren't getting it are the ones that are working the least amount of hours. And we're leaving the manual age and going to an automated age. You all know that. We're in the automated age. That means that automation, you have to automate everything. Don't leave it up to someone else. Appreciate you all for tuning in live, listening to replay. We got Cornell that came through and just wanted to really talk about that stock position because so many people are in it. We know we did a pretty lengthy episode. This is something that, oh well, people. This is the content that we talk about in the private. The reason why the vault was even started was to share those quote unquote private conversations that we know aren't offensive, quote unquote, and can still be displayed of educational content, and value, and just content for people to say, hey, look, we have to continue our financial research. That's what's called financial literacy. It's you improving your grammar skills, by reading more. We want to go ahead and tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. We'll put this in an equitable position. Uh, Readers are leaders. So you have to read financial information. The Financial Times, the Wall Street Journal. These are business periodicals that you can go out and buy. You have to actually buy these periodicals. They're still not free. So you say, oh, where's the private information in the public? Last time we checked, you have to buy those periodicals. Why? That's a little bit more private. They got deals going on in there. Go look in the back of those journals. And so the things that cost are sometimes of value. And we just wanted to share that with you all, ladies and gentlemen, is that the readers are leaders. The mentors have always said whoever can digest the financial information the fastest and come out with good computations and apply that information, they're the winners. And we've always seen that. We see it right now. We appreciate you all for tuning in live, listening to replay. It's always a pleasure. It's just one of those things we wanted to do today. Cornell's over here literally back on the other line doing some deal. We appreciate you. You there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm listening. Yeah,
Oh,
I decide what I need to do.
And that's how business is done in the 24/7 economy, ladies and gentlemen. And this is just the beginning. And we encourage you all to really put yourselves in that position. You got anything? I mean, I ain't in a rush. You in a rush?
I ain't in no rush.
Hey, if you all have any questions, feel free to type your questions into the chat. We got the trader Cornell on the line, and we have Trust Christian on the line. This is about stocks and how liquid is your position. Ask any question. Feel free to type into the chat right now. It's all good. Man, that was. She said, "See, that's a great place to start." Right. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we just wanted to do this episode because we know that there was a big discrepancy. People say, "How do you make money when the market's going down?" It's called a futures contract. So you don't actually buy the actual commodity. Because think about it, how many people buy the actual tangible asset of gold and silver. For all you all that are doing those little third-party platforms, Acorn and Robinhood, think about when you buy gold and silver on there, or even through your Roth IRA or your IRAs, do you actually hold the tangible asset or do you hold a contract? And that's what that stock is. It's a contract. And that's why you already have to know, like, wow, if I'm buying stocks, I'm already in trustee training. Why? Because you're already acquiring contracts. But what position are you acquiring those contracts? In an owned position or a controlled position?
Position is important.
Someone said, what are a few financial periodicals that I can pay for that are private? Well, there wouldn't necessarily be private. Once again, the vault knows they're.
It's a different reading. It ain't the normal reading that most people pick up, like the Raw Report. Raw Report, what is a quarterly magazine,
Yeah,
but it ain't the typical read like you'll go in the store and grab. Like I read Kiplinger's.
Kiplingers, yeah.
What
Business
else?
Insider. Business Insider's good. Bloomberg's good.
I even read the Forbes.
Forbes.
Like coming to the house. Uh,
Entrepreneur in the magazine in the back has, if you ever wanted to price out your business based
I,
off another franchise model, you can literally go and see that in the back. They have the franchise prices in the back, I think, of Entrepreneur magazine or Inc. Either one, they have that are listed in the back. Yeah,
what else? You reading different material. Like it ain't the norm. Like Forbes okay, but Forbes ain't Kiplinger's. Cause like I said, most smart people will tell you all the time. If you don't want somebody to learn something, you put it in put it in writing. Most people ain't gonna read it. They won't pick a book up, Christian, and read.
Right.
And you like that in your face. So you gotta educate yourself and follow proven people. Don't follow people. One thing about trade, it's a fad with millennials right now. So you see a lot of stuff online. Like 5 years ago, it wasn't like that. Now it's a fad. Now everybody expert. I'm gonna tell you something I learned about. That's why I educate myself in this class. No professional trader is online because, like I said, they got special privileges. The only people that see what they doing is banks and hedge funds. So it kind of make you question, like even the way I learned. The guy I learned from is not online. It was a private education. The information you take my class, you'll see it ain't online. So I had to, like I said, had to do research. So I say that to say this: a lot of people you looking online is pretty much there to help you lose your money.
What happens when people realize that they're on an island by themselves when it comes to financial information and there's literally a war over dollars? Each family is looking to use a strategy against another family, and they see that there's literally everyone is jockeying for a different position over assets. What do you think? What was your realization of that for you and your family?
You got to protect your family. Like you got to go out and set your system up and make sure your system is solid for your family. But like I said, you got competitive people out here like that. Like you got to be ready out here. Like that's what's going on right now. Who ready and who not ready? Who protected their family? Or who was just going on and you just going to work every day and thinking everything that's the norm. Now these people just change your whole life upside down. Now you sit at the house, them bills starting to pile up because everybody ain't going to work. I'm gonna tell you the crazy thing about it. Like even with the school thing, a lot of people ain't even thought about this yet. Y'all gotta go to work. Who gonna help your kid with their studies? I mean, the education ain't gonna be the same. Like you got decisions to make. That's why we invest in ourselves. It's not gonna be a issue for me because my kids are always around me. So I work for myself. I can help my kids, but Christian, how many people have really sat down and looked at life for real and see all the changes that's going on, or even thought about them things? Like, damn, I didn't think about it. Somebody sitting here now probably thinking about it. Like, he right. I got a little one, but I got to go to work. How we gonna pull that off? How you gonna pull that off, Christian?
You gotta work for yourself, man.
You got to work for yourself. You got to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
And that's some of the hard decisions people gonna have to make. This is gonna be a rough year for the ones that's not educated.
Position.
Like I'm taking advantage. You hear me on this phone? I'm taking advantage of the situation the same way they would take the advantage of the situation.
Right. It does require a shark mindset. You have to have a shark mindset. We even right now talking about the eye of the tiger with our guys, and that's just you gotta have the eye of the tiger, ladies and gentlemen, man or woman. You gotta man up or woman up real quick, and get your shit back tight in order. Let's just talk about some of the ancillary thought process of a stock versus a trader. What would you say is your daily work habits of like actually trading, research, and actually trading yourself? Could you talk about your daily habits or your weekly habits? Like how much time are you setting aside? How much time are you setting aside to trade? How much time are you setting aside to actual research? What's your lifestyle like with that?
Trading wise, once you get it, you gonna have to put in the work to get it. Remember, this is repetition. So, like I said, I don't give people no excuse. You go on your job, you learn the system, you learn whatever they put in front of you when they paying you their money. Bottom line, this is the same way. It's repetition. So after you got it, you quickly learn that I'm going on the weekend, Christian, and set my trades up for the week. I ain't even got to look at it every day no more. Or, like I said, most people starting out, they be excited. You may trade every day. But like I said, it's your choice. But once you got the background on the back end, it's way easier. I ain't got to sit here just look at no chart all day and sit here Christian all day. So if you had a business or something that you want to do, once you get to the level where you got your money pretty much secured, trading every day or by the week or the month, you growing the rest of your businesses with no problem. This don't slow you down from doing anything. That's what I like about it. I ain't got to sit here every day if I don't want to sit here every day. And that's the benefit of learning it for yourself. And you can make literally whatever you want to make. And you can start at any level you want to get to where you need to get to. So it ain't no excuses.
Yeah, I'm happy that we talked about it. It's most definitely important that we talked about this because so many people are kind of caught up in a haze of possible the times, and we know that so many people don't want to be. And we know that this is just an incredible time. Even though we're doing an episode on 4th of July, ladies and gentlemen, the vote does not stop its movement because we're on 4th of July. We literally have a partner online, Cornell, literally telling he's talking about doing business, literally closing real estate deals on the 4th of July. I mean, his wife's a hustler, let alone him. I mean, on the 4th of July, this is how business is done in 2022. What do you want to call it? 4.0 Industrial Revolution 4.0 is here. And so we're very aware of it. It's not, oh man, what's the 4th of July? Oh, it's a Saturday. Yeah, we heard every day, everything. The reason why some people are going to stay broke, and you see why when you at least are on the phone, you can see how things get done. You got to at least be on the phone so things can get done. So we do these episodes that say, hey, look, if you're not around a lot of positive people, don't have those influences, because we know where we come from. You have to level up sometimes on people. Then, hey, look, listen to the episodes and continue to go out and take action on your goals and your dreams. And that's all we ever want to talk about is you achieving your goals and your dreams. Like we say, it don't have to be trading. It don't have to be, foundation or trusteeship. But, hey, if it's something that you want to do, just know we're here to support you. It's not, oh man, how come we can't find all this information on the internet? Because some people are actually that good at what they do that it's not that many people doing it in the world. Everybody's not a watchmaker for a reason, and everybody's not a trader for a reason, and everybody's not a trustee for a reason. So it's a very niche content. But we appreciate everybody that reaches out. Appreciate all the trustees that listen to the episodes too. Always listen to them through and through. Appreciate you all. We'll hear from you all. Peace and blessings.